The road to WrestleMania officially kicks off tomorrow night with the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view live from the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Hello, friends. It is ridiculously over Anthony Florio sitting in tonight for the Hardcore Python Derek Ferreira. He's having some major issues on his end beyond his control. So unfortunately, Derek Ferreira is not going to be with us for quite a while, as I just messaged him on Facebook, and fortunately, he's going to be out of commission for a while. So get used to seeing me and/or Michael Fletcher running the content around here. So yeah, he's not going to be with us tonight, and we don't know when he'll be back, but hopefully he'll be back up and running very soon. And Michael Fletcher not with us tonight as well. He's having similar issues. He's not taking any chances, so Fletcher's gone as well. And if that's the case, you know what that means. Yes Movement runs the show here tonight, so I'm here along with my partner in crime in the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, the one and only Phenom, Michael Bullock. And Mr. Bullock, we officially kickstart the road to WrestleMania tomorrow night. Fastlane, brand new pay-per-view. No more Elimination Chamber, at least for the moment. So, because usually this would be the Elimination Chamber. Kind of sad about that because I love the Elimination Chamber concept, as I know you do too. So with that said, let's dive right in and get the ball rolling on this. Of course, on the pre-show, of course, there's going to be a Miz TV segment. A special guest will be the advocate for WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar. That would be Paul Heyman. So that should be an interesting segment to say the least. We have 7 matches on the card, which is pretty good considering that up until last week we only had like 3. So glad they threw all these matches in at the last second. So 7-match card. I'm going to go about it as what I think is going to be the worst fight, taking it up to what I think will be the fight. So I'll try my best to figure this all out. But I definitely know what we're going to start with. We're going to start with the Divas Championship matchup. It's going to be Nikki Bella against Paige, which is obviously going to be the worst fight of the night. It's probably going to be a typical ho-hum diva fight. This feud's been all right, but it's really been nothing to write home about. Especially what happened last Monday night on Raw when Paige had to dress up in that ridiculous outfit, but she was back in her normal attire on SmackDown when she went up against Cameron, which was another whole home diva fight. So yeah, even though these two can go, it's just that they're probably not going to get much time anyway. And I expect this to be the worst fight of the night. I don't know if it's going to be a dud by any means, but I'm thinking it'll probably be more like a 1 to 1.5 star fight, if I'm being honest. So with that said, I obviously think Nikki Bella's going to hold on to this thing for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if she holds it past WrestleMania because there's a certain diva from NXT who just lost her women's championship at a damn good event called NXT Rival the other night, well, a couple weeks ago actually. I think you've heard of her. Her name is Charlotte. I think we all think that Charlotte's going to make her debut sometime after WrestleMania, and I think she's going to be the one who ultimately takes the Divas Championship from Nikki Bella. That's just my trade of thoughts. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, I got to go with Nikki Bella here. I want to be surprised if Brie gets involved. Some twin magic, as the old saying goes. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens by any means. So I'm going with Nikki Bella to retain. It's going to be the worst fight of the night. There's no question about it. So with that said, I'm going to throw it up now to my partner in crime in the Yes Movement, the one and only Phenom, Michael Bullock. So, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this Divas title matchup for Nikki Bella and Paige?
All right, thank you very much. Ridiculously over Anthony Florio and the president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement. Yes, this is the Phenom and the vice president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, Mike Bullock, here for our special edition of the Wrestling Forum, which is previewing Fastlane. This obviously will be the worst fight of the night, and I don't know if it's going to be a dud, but maybe I do agree with you. Maybe somewhere between 1 to 1.5 stars. I mean the rivalry between these two. I mean it's there. Nothing really amazing. Nothing overly special about it. And of course the reason why Paige didn't had that ridiculous outfit was because, well, let's just say the Bellas, they sort of stole her ring gear, so she was, yeah, so Paige finally got it back, and of course had that match with Cameron on SmackDown, which of course was another one of your typical ho hum diva fights. So yeah, I mean, as much as I want to see Paige win the Divas title, I hate to say it, but I gotta agree with you, and I gotta go with Nikki Bella to win this one. Yep, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brie Bella gets involved with a little twin magic. You know how much I really like that twin magic. Yeah, right. Uh, yeah, exactly, Florio. No, 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 no. Oh hell, freaking no. So yeah, and I do agree. I mean, with that certain diva that in NXT who lost her women's title, she could be on her way up maybe sometime after WrestleMania. Like you said, her name is Charlotte, and of course losing that NXT Women's title in what I thought was a really good Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's title over at the NXT Takeover Rival Special. So it's only a matter of time before Charlotte gets called up, and like you said, they'll probably save her till after WrestleMania because remember what happened last year? Paige, uh, they saved her debut for after WrestleMania. What happened? She took the Divas title from AJ Lee, so we could get a repeat of that. But of course, the jury's out to lunch on that. So, but either way, I think Nikki Bella is going to retain the title. So, with that being said, Florio, let's get on to the next match, which I will be talking about.
Yep, indeed, you will be talking about the next matchup here, Michael Bullock. And remember, I'm going by a certain order here. I'm going by what I think is going to be the worst fight up to the best fight. So let's see what I think will be next. All right, this matchup coming here, it's going to be well. We thought we were going to get this at WrestleMania, but instead we're going to get it here at Fastlane. The battle, we're going to finally get it. The Dust Brothers, they're going to go one on one, Goldust against Stardust. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this match, yeah, this really surprised me. I mean, I thought they were going to save this match for WrestleMania, but nope. They're going to do it here at Fastlane, and of course, this all started, of course, with Gold and Stardust, of course, losing some of their matches lately, and of course, this past Monday night on Raw, uh, the master of the hard times himself, Dusty Rhodes, showed up and tried to smooth things down between them, but obviously Stardust wasn't going to have any of it, so that's what ultimately led to the match. So yeah, so I mean Goldust, I mean he's getting up there in age, so as much as I want to see him win, I gotta go with Stardust to win this one. I mean, yeah, I mean Stardust. I think you want to, of course, have him go over on on his brother, which of course in real life they are, of course, Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. So yeah, so give me Stardust in this one. I think it'll be an all right match, but once again, nothing amazing, nothing overly special about it. So give me Stardust to win this one. So Florio, it's yours.
Yeah. For some reason, I think this is going to be the second worst fight of the night. I don't know why, but I mean, just looking at the scope of the card here, that's why I had to go with this fight as what I think is going to be the second worst. I think this will probably be a TV quality match at best. I was hoping they would have saved this for WrestleMania, to be honest, because that's where they wanted this. That's where a lot of the fans in the IWC wanted to see this match in the first place. So yeah, I'm not expecting anything real special to come out of this. So with that said, I'm thinking it'll probably be a 1.5 to 2 star match at the absolute best. And with that, I have to go with. I agree with you both. I'm going to go with Stardust in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if there was any nefarious means in this one, but we'll have to wait and see. So I hope I'm wrong, but something tells me this is not going to really be a good match at all. So I'm going to go with Stardust as well. I agree with you there, Bullock. Because like I said, because like you just said, you made a great point. Goldust is getting up there in age. He's 45. He'll be 46 sometime later this year, and I think his in-ring career is on its last legs. If I'm being honest with you, so I think the way he wants to go out is to have a match with his brother. So so with that said, I'm gonna go with Stardust. I agree with you there, Bullock. So with that said, let's move on to our next matchup on the card here, which is let me see, going to be going to be a six-man tag team matchup. It's going to be Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback versus Seth Rollins, Kane, and The Big Show with J&J Security. Um, this will be probably be an all right match. But I just don't think this is going to be anything. I think this is going to probably be, like one of your typical Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown main events. If I'm being honest with you, uh, I'm thinking it'll probably be at best a 2.5 star match. Because you got Dolph Ziggler in there, and we all know how great he is, and Seth Rollins, and both of those guys are great. I mean, they had a great match Monday Night on Raw. Can't say the same for the SmackDown fight. That SmackDown fight was rather meh, if I'm being honest with you, because it was a short match. But
And with authority shenanigans.
absolutely, Bullock. You know how we are about that. We here at the
Yeah.
Yes Movement, we here at the Yes Movement have zero tolerance for authority shenanigans. That's why we do our no, no, no thing all the time. And of course, there's going to be some authority shenanigans during this fight. Don't be surprised if there isn't any.
Yeah, and while the authority will probably say yes, yes, yes to these shenanigans, yeah, but we are saying no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no to those. So take those authority shenanigans of yours, authority, and stick it where the sun don't shine.
Hallelujah to that, Bullock. I have no doubt about that. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right about that.
and Stephanie and Triple H about that. Why don't you take that that pot and smoke it up your ass?
Hey now, okay, all right. Michael Bullock bringing some fire here tonight. I love it. But no. We're gonna say what's gonna happen with Triple H has something really big on this show, and we're gonna get into that as soon as we get through all the matches. We're gonna definitely gonna get into that in just a moment because he's got a huge, big moment for him coming up. Oh boy, we can't wait to get into that. We'll save that at the end, but maybe we'll talk about that during our overall thoughts, our overall projection on the event. So I'll save it for that because I want to get through these matches first. But anyways, like I said, this is probably be like something you would. This is probably going to be another TV quality fight, like a TV quality main event, like a Raw or a SmackDown main event. If I'm being honest with you, should be an okay fight. I don't expect anything special. I think Authority Shenanigans are going to rule the roost here, and it's because of that. I hate to do it, but I got to go with Rollins and Kane and the Big Show to win this fight. I think Authority Shenanigans are going to rule out. So give me Rollins, give me Kane and the Big Show. As far as what they're going to do for WrestleMania, I don't know. The only thing I do know is that there is a possibility that Seth Rollins is going to be going up against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So if that's the case, that should be a damn good match. Um, Orton, I think, is in good health, but they're just saving his return, I guess. And who knows? I mean, the only way Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback the only way I can see those guys winning this fight is if Randy Orton shows up and gets to Rollins. That's the only way I can see that happening. If that's the case, then that's the only way I would go with the Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback team to win that. But unfortunately, I think Authority Shenanigans are going to triumph here. And with that said, as much as I don't want to do it, I have no choice. I have to go with the Authority. I got to go with Rollins, Kane, and Big Show to get the victory here. But don't be surprised if Randy Orton shows up and then they start planting the seeds for that Randy Orton Seth Rollins matchup at WrestleMania. And if they do that, you're looking at a 3.5 to 4 star fight easy based on those guys' body of work. So Authority wins, Authority Shenanigans, yada yada. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this 6 man?
Yeah, I think this will be an all right match. I mean, like you said, this will probably be like your typical Monday Night Raw or Thursday Night SmackDown main event. So maybe around, like you said, 2.5 stars. But yeah, I mean, don't be surprised if you get some authority shenanigans here during this match. But you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction. And Florio, I mean, need you to hear me out on this. And I actually think Randy Orton is gonna return. I think, I mean, because if you want to start the build for him against Seth Rollins, what better place to do it than to have him return at Fastlane, and then maybe have him hit an RKO out of nowhere, and and then that's when you're going to see the team pick up the win. And I think because of that, I'm going to go with Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback to win this one because of the return of Randy Orton, where he's going to probably come out of nowhere and lay down that RKO on Seth Rollins when nobody expects it. So that's my bold prediction. I'm sticking to it. So give me Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback to win this match. So with that being said, Florio, let's move on to the next match, which I will talk about.
Indeed, you will. Moving on to the next fight on the card here. This is going to be for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be champion Bad News Barrett defending against the Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this IC title matchup?
Man, to me, I think this should be a really good match between these two. Of course, Intercontinental Champion Bad News Barrett and I mean Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, and they've had some pretty interesting encounters during this build for their match. So this should be a pretty good match. I'll say maybe somewhere between three to maybe 3.5 if they give it the proper amount of time. Uh, well, we'll have to wait and see on that, but I get this. Yeah, but to me, I'm gonna go with Bad News Barrett to win and retain the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, he's obviously gonna find some kind of way to beat him, and so there's really nothing else for me to say except give me Bad News Barrett to retain the Intercontinental Championship. So because and here's another thing, I think it's probably too soon to take the IC title off of Bad News Barrett. So give me Bad News Barrett to retain the title. So with that being said, Florio, who do you got?
I agree. I think it's going to be I agree with you in the sense that I think it's going to be a solid matchup. I think it'll be more on the 2.5 to 3 star side of the ledger, if I'm being honest. Because I think they're probably going to get a good solid 10 to 15 minute bout here. I wish, I hope, but we'll have to wait and see. But this is an agree to disagree here. I agree that Barrett's going to leave with the title. I disagree with the outcome. I think Ambrose is going to win this thing, but I think it's going to be via either a disqualification or a countout. The reason why I say that is because I think this feud's going to go. I think this program is going to carry over into WrestleMania. I don't know why, but I just got this feeling we're going to see this again at WrestleMania. And if that's the case, then I fully expect 100% Dean Ambrose to walk out of San Francisco and Levi's Stadium with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Because if anybody's going to dethrone Bad News Barrett, I think it's going to be Dean Ambrose, personally. I mean, you remember he had that 351-day reign as United States Heavyweight Champion from Extreme Rules 2013 to the night after Extreme Rules this year. So, or I should say in 2014 when he lost it in that Battle Royal where Sheamus wound up winning it. So with that said, Barrett's gonna leave with the title. I agree with you there, Bullet, but I just think Ambrose is gonna win it. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna get another thing we don't like. I mean, one thing we don't like is authority shenanigans. Another thing we don't like is cop-out finishes. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but my gut is telling me we're going to get a cop-out finish here. And I think Ambrose is going to win this thing. It's either going to be via disqualification or a count-out. But I fully expect Ambrose to win via one of those two methods, setting up a rematch with those two for the Intercontinental Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. And if that's indeed how it goes, then I expect the Lunatic Fringe to become the new champion come March the 29th. So Ambrose wins via countout or disqualification. That's just my way of thought. So with that said, next matchup we're going to get into WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. champions, the Usos, defending against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Of course, the Usos will have Naomi in their corner, and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro will have Natalia. So, yeah, this is going to be the third best fight of the night here because we know these four guys can go. I mean, they gave this match away on a Monday Night Raw. They had a non-title match with these two teams on a Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago. Oh man, was that a great match or what? I mean, if that fight was good, just think of how much time they're going to get on pay-per-view or WWE Network rather. I mean, my goodness, this is going to be a hell of a matchup here. I expect there to be a lot of high-flying spots in this one, a lot of sick moves here. I think Cesaro's going to get a Cesaro swing in there or two. But I expect there to be a lot of high-flying. This is going to be a spot fest. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a major spot fest. And it's because of that, I think this fight's going to be, like I said, third best fight of the night. We're looking at 3 to 3.5 easy based on these teams' body of work, if not higher. But all I know is this is going to be a damn good match. I can't wait to see how it goes down. But the thing is, we've been saying on the Wrestling Forum for the last few weeks, we think when we get to WrestleMania time, that the Usos are going to defend their tag team titles against a certain tag team that likes to welcome people to the wasteland. You know what I mean? They go by the names of Connor and Victor. I think you know them. They're called the Ascension. Demolition, Power of Pain, Legion of Doom ripoffs that they claim to be. So yeah, I think we're going to get that at WrestleMania, and if that happens, then Ascension without question goes over. So for that to happen, the Usos have to go over here, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I got Jimmy and Jay walking out still, the WWE Tag Team Champions, in what should be a hell of a match against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. So good that I think it's going to be the third best fight of the night. I really do. This definitely has top 3 written all over it. So Usos win, they retain, and then next month at WrestleMania, they're going to lose into the Ascension. You heard that here first. So that's my story, sticking to it. So with that said, Michael Bullock, tag team title matchup, who you got?
Yeah, this should be a pretty good tag team title match. I mean, I really love the body of work of Cesaro and Tyson Kidd since becoming a tag team, and of course the Usos, of course, with their impressive run as tag team champions, and I think it's going to stay that way because I do too have the Usos winning and retaining the tag team titles. I mean, Cesaro and Kidd will give them a run for their money, but in the end, I mean, I just think it's too much, and plus, I think you want to have the Usos still be tag team champions come WrestleMania because they're going to be facing a team that has come up from NXT and has dominated since coming up in WWE. This had a long reign as NXT tag team champions. The Ascension, Connor and Victor. Yeah, they're going to face off with the Usos at WrestleMania, and I think that's when the Usos will drop the belts to Connor and Victor, the Ascension. So, give me the Usos to win. So with that being said, Florio, let's move on to the next match, which I will be talking about.
Oh, what a match it is going to be here, Michael Bullock. One of the 2 big main events here tomorrow night at Fastlane. United States Heavyweight Championship matchup. It's going to be Rusev with the Ravishing Russian Lana going up against the one and only John Cena. Michael Bullock, nothing left to say except who you got.
All right, this will be the second best fight of the night here. This should be a really good one. I'm hoping it's in the 3.5-star range, if I'm going to be quite honest. So, yeah, Rusev has yet to officially be pinned in the WWE since coming up, and the back and forth between Rusev and John Cena it's been there, and of course ended up with John Cena, of course, beating the crap out of Rusev, of course, on Monday Night Raw. So will the undefeated streak come to an end here? I'm gonna say no. I got Rusev winning this match, but I think it's gonna be by disqualification here, if I'm gonna be quite honest. So, and another thing I got a major gripe with. Why is the United States Championship on the line? I mean, you got John Cena. I mean, your top star in the WWE, who's always in the mix for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and you have him going for the United States Championship. Um, I'm sorry, I can't go with that. So, but in any event, Rusev will win by disqualification. So, that being said, Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call, man. Not only has Rusev not been pinned, Michael Bullock, you also forgot to mention he hasn't even submitted either. So no pins or submissions on Rusev. Yeah, he's been counted out, he's been disqualified, but he has not yet been pinned or submitted in the WWE. But all I know is this. I have a good feeling that this is going to be a good fight. I think a lot of these Rusev matches, haven't been really all that good. But he had a few, yeah, he had some good matches here and there. Had a good few matches with Big E. Also had a couple of good matches with Jack Swagger. And yeah, but quite frankly, if anybody's going to get a passable match here, it's got to be John Cena. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a matchup here. I mean, this all started, they had a backstage moment after the Royal Rumble. You remember that they had a big old brawl in the backstage interview area. Cena was being interviewed. I think it was by Byron Saxton, and then all of a sudden in came Rusev, and he started badmouthing him, and then that's when this whole thing started. And they've had some great back and forths on Raw and SmackDown, but mostly Monday Night Raw. But Rusev, of course, Rusev got the best of Cena a couple weeks ago on Raw, and then last Monday night on Raw, Cena got the best of Rusev at the start of Raw last Monday night. You remember that? And then the other night on SmackDown, Rusev interrupted a one-on-one match between one of the Usos and Tyson Kidd, got involved, and they started beating the snot out of both of those guys. So, yeah, nothing really to speak of in that. So, this is very tough to call. I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly have no clue. But the thing is, I do agree. I mean, with the United States Heavyweight Championship on the line, I don't really think Cena's going to win that, considering that Cena's far and above the United States Heavyweight Championship, because, when you think of John Cena, there's only one championship you can't help but think of him as, and that is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, that's the only title that, they've, been pushing him with over these last several years. I mean, it's been 11 years since he's held that United States Heavyweight Championship. I mean, not since the 2004 Armageddon pay-per-view, actually, it was shortly after the Survivor Series in 2004 when he defeated Carlito on a SmackDown, and then he defended it against Carlito's bodyguard Jesus, and then, of course, he would eventually lose it on a SmackDown during the road to WrestleMania 21. He lost it to Orlando Jordan with the help of then WWE Champion John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, and that's what kick-started their feud. So, yeah. And then that's when they got rid of that bling bling sideshow belt. Thank God, because that thing was grotesque. If you haven't seen it, that thing was ugly. Trust me, it was ugly. But anyways, just wanted to drop a little professor knowledge here. So very tough to call indeed. But I agree with you, Bullock. I don't think I don't think we're gonna get a clean finish here. I think we're gonna get a DQ finish here. That's my guess. I agree with you totally. I just don't know who goes over. Perhaps Rusev does go over, because you never know, because John Cena maybe could end up blowing his top, and he could get overzealous, and to the point where he actually could get disqualified. So there is a good chance we could see that. Or then again, Rusev could get overzealous and he could get disqualified. But I don't know why, but I just got this weird feeling we're gonna get these two again at WrestleMania. I don't know why, and if they do, then you gotta have the feeling that Cena's gonna go over there. So honestly, I'm really not that thrilled that if Rusev's going to lose, is going to get pinned or submitted for the first time, that John Cena is going to be the guy who does it. I wish it would be, a younger up and coming guy, to be honest with you, but it is what it is, I guess. So there's going to be a DQ finish. I just don't know who goes over. You know what, Bullock? I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to say Cena goes over via disqualification. That's how I'm going to go. I'm going to say Cena via DQ here. So. But there's not going to be a clean finish in this one. But I think it's going to be a straight-up fight. It's going to be a man fight. You know how we are about that. So it should be a damn good show. So it should be a damn good fight. So I'm going to go with Cena by disqualification. So, all right, one match left. Oh boy, save the best for last, and you know that's what we do here on the Wrestling Forum. So the main event of Fastlane, nothing left to say except you could basically call it a number one contenders match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble match and the master of the Superman Punch, Roman Reigns, going up against my namesake, ridiculously over Daniel Bryan. The winner will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania 31. Oh boy. Oh, this is. You thought that last one was tough to call. This one, oh, forget it. Because this can go so many ways. It really can. You remember on the Wrestling Forum a couple weeks ago, I mentioned a dirt sheet that I had come across. I posted that dirt sheet on my Facebook page to Bullock and Derek Ferrer and Michael Fletcher. I wanted to make sure you guys read that because that was a very big deal. That dirt sheet said that Vince McMahon had a closed door meeting with his creative team and decided to make the main event of WrestleMania 31 a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Brock Lesnar defending against both Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Reason being is they want to continue to push Roman Reigns as the next big main event superstar, which is obviously what they want to do. But once again, the Daniel Bryan fans were not having it. I mean, reason being, you remember that final Raw of 2014, Daniel Bryan announced that he was medically cleared and that he was going to enter the Royal Rumble match. He got eliminated from that Royal Rumble. Oh boy. Oh boy. That hit the moment Daniel Bryan's feet hit the ground, the crowd, I mean, that's when the Royal Rumble match went all downhill and not in a good way. Because that crowd basically sat on their hands for the rest of the Royal Rumble match. And that's a damn shame because when you think about the Royal Rumble match, the Royal Rumble match is supposed to be a match so exciting that you don't sit on your hands. But unfortunately, that crowd in Philly damn near did that the minute Daniel Bryan got eliminated. And then, of course, Roman Reigns went on to win it. And then they had a confrontation the night after when they did that, special Monday Night Raw from the headquarters in Stamford because of the blizzard, which is still going to this day, which I cannot believe. But, that's one of the unfortunate things about being a New Englander. So, but anyways, I mean, oh, Marone, I mean, and then a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, Triple H and Stephanie said they were going to make an announcement that was going to shake the core of the WWE Universe. And Roman Reigns came and said, "You're going to take my title shot away from me? Hell no." And then out comes Daniel Bryan and says, "Well, I never lost the title to begin with. You stripped me, and I never got a rematch." Technically, that's true. And then Seth Rollins came out and said, "Well, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, yada yada, and all that good stuff, the future." So what happened on that Raw? Seth Rollins fought Daniel Bryan, and the winner was going to go on to Fastlane against Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan won that match, mainly because of Roman Reigns, as we all know. Roman Reigns with a Superman punch, and then that set up a running knee by Daniel Bryan, and that got him the win. So here we are. And then they've had some great back and forths over on TVs, including a tag team turmoil. Let me tell you something about that tag team turmoil. I strongly suggest you watch the match that Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns had against the Usos. That was freaking awesome because that match went on for damn near 30 minutes. I mean, I told Michael Fletcher about this, and I'm like, that match was. Not quite 5 stars. It was more like 4.5. But man, oh man, that's my TV. That's my TV match of the year for 2015. I don't give a crap what anybody says. You watch that sucker back, and I know you'll all agree with me. That stuff was freaking awesome, man. Usos against Reigns and Bryan, freaking awesome, man. And they went on to win that tag team turmoil, of course. And then, but what really did it, Monday Night on Raw, Roman Reigns had a match with Corporate Citizen Kane, which Roman Reigns I do believe won. And then in the main event of Raw, Daniel Bryan went up against the Big Show, and Big Show won that via disqualification because of interference by Roman Reigns, and then that did it. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan had one of the wildest and sickest brawls you will ever see, and we here at the Wrestling Forum, we loved it. We all loved that brawl. I mean, that's how you sell a main event right there. That's how you do it right there. And that was just, wow, fun to watch. But now, There's nothing left to say here. This is going to be the fight of the night. There is no question about it here. I don't think it's going to be a five-star classic by any means, even though I would love for it to be that. But I'm thinking it'll be more like 4 to 4.5 stars, if I'm being honest with you, based on the body of work. Daniel Bryan, we all know, best wrestler in the world. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, he's the reason why technical wrestling is back on the map again. And he's the reason why Michael Bullock and I, you know how much Michael Bullock and I love our technical wrestling? I mean, this guy alone is the reason why we love it. Whereas, of course, Derek Ferrer and Michael Fletcher, you know how much they love their hardcore stuff, all of the old school ECW. But thing is, this is not going to be a hardcore match. This is going to be a wrestling classic. This is going to be a great match. And I cannot wait to see how it all goes down. So many ways this could happen. If they're leaning towards a triple threat match at WrestleMania, I think the best way to get there is to have a surprise appearance by Brock Lesnar and have Brock Lesnar take out both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns and basically have the fight end in a no contest, and then the Authority would have no choice but to make it a triple threat match at WrestleMania. That's basically the only way you can get. That's the most logical way to get there. But there's something telling me that I don't think that's going to happen. Very tough here. I mean, do they stick with their original plan and they put Roman Reigns over and have Roman Reigns face Brock Lesnar one-on-one at WrestleMania and have Daniel Bryan go up against somebody else? Because remember, longest time the rumor was Daniel Bryan was supposed to go up against Dolph Ziggler, and that's obviously gone by the wayside. Because don't forget, there's a certain Celtic warrior who's on the verge of returning. I think you've heard of him. His name is Sheamus. Former WWE champion, World Heavyweight champion, United States Heavyweight champion, King of the Ring in 2010. Yeah, that Irishman. That tough Irish you-know-what. Yeah. He's due to come back anytime, folks. And I even read a dirt sheet saying, or I think it was more of an editorial, saying that Daniel Bryan should end up going up against Sheamus at WrestleMania if Daniel Bryan should lose this match. I think if Bryan loses, I think the best case scenario for that to happen would be to have maybe Sheamus come in and screw Bryan and turn Sheamus heel. And then have a Bryan versus Sheamus match at WrestleMania, and then have Bryan go over and get his payback from WrestleMania 28. Because we all remember WrestleMania 28, the most disappointing match in WrestleMania history, because we thought that thing was going to be freaking awesome. We thought it was going to be a 3.5 to 4-star match, honestly, easily. But that thing ended up being an absolute dud and the worst fight of the night. Hard to believe the Diva fight that night was actually better. Go figure. Not that much better, but it was better. So yeah. So does WWE stick with their original gun? Do they go with Roman Reigns to face Lesnar after all? Or does Vince McMahon do what he did last year, and that's cave in and listen to the fans, which I heard there are some people claiming that he actually does. Yeah, right, I'll believe it when I see it. Until I get it out of the horse's ass mouth himself. But still, I mean, does Vince McMahon cave and say, all right, I'll let Bryan go over, and they put Daniel Bryan over, and have Daniel Bryan go up against Brock Lesnar? And if that's the case, then what would Roman Reigns do? Would you have Roman Reigns go up against Sheamus? Would you have Roman Reigns go up against Dolph Ziggler? Would you have Roman Reigns? Then what would happen with Roman Reigns? I don't know. That's the $1,000,000 question. What would happen if Roman Reigns loses this match? If they decide to put Bryan over? Which, to be honest with you, Michael Bullock and I, we want nothing more than to see Daniel Bryan back in the main event at WrestleMania. How would you like to see Daniel Bryan against Brock Lesnar? Would that thing be freaking awesome or what? Because you remember last summer, Daniel Bryan did some radio interview, saying that the one thing that he wanted more than anything was to have a match with Brock Lesnar. And remember, those two were supposed to throw down at that was the original plan for SummerSlam. You remember, Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania last year, Miracle on Bourbon Street. We all know that. And unfortunately, that's when the whole injury thing started, and that's when we all thought his career was over. If that never happened, Daniel Bryan most likely would have held the title all the way up until SummerSlam, and then he would have been the one to drop it to Brock Lesnar instead of John Cena. But the thing is, so tough to call. It basically comes down to this. My gut is telling me Roman Reigns is going to go over, but my heart is telling me Daniel Bryan goes over. I would love to see Bryan against Lesnar, man. Bryan versus Lesnar. That, I think, would be just as good, or if not better, than the match that Brock Lesnar had with CM Punk back at SummerSlam 2013. Y'all remember how damn good that match was. I mean, that was a 4.5-star match. A little more, then it would have been the 5, no question. But it just missed being a 5-star classic. That very same night, of course, Daniel Bryan fought John Cena, and we all remember how freaking awesome that match was. That was a 5-star classic, and for me anyway, that is to me now the greatest match in SummerSlam history. I don't give a crap what anybody says. You watch that sucker back, and you'll know why I said that. Even with Triple H as the referee, but still. Damn, this is tough to call. But I'm sure they'll find a way to make it a triple threat somehow, even if there is a clean outcome here. But my gut is I got to go with my gut here. I got to say Roman Reigns wins this match. I think Roman goes over. But I don't know why. But I don't know if it's going to be because of Sheamus. I don't know if it's going to be a clean win. But I'm sure they'll find a way to make it a triple threat somehow. But as much as I want to see Daniel Bryan go up against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which I think could be a 5-star classic because of their bodies of work, I really do. They're going to find a way to make it a triple threat. I think they will. How they do that, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, I got to go with my gut here. I got to go with the master of the Superman Punch and the winner of the Royal Rumble match. I got to go with Roman Reigns. Fight of the night. There is no question about it. All right, Michael Bullock. I hope I've given you plenty of time to think this over. So I know this is just as tough for you. So Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, winner faces Lesnar at WrestleMania. What you got, man? Michael Bullock?
I'm sorry. Got a little sidetracked there. So yeah. This is definitely going to be the fight of the night, no doubt about it. Maybe 4.5 stars, if I'm going to be quite honest. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it does end up being a 5-star classic. And boy, I mean, things have really gotten heated up between these two, especially going back to that brawl that they had on Monday Night Raw, and to end the show. And yeah, and the thing about the Royal Rumble, like you said, I mean, everybody was going crazy when Daniel Bryan got in there because they wanted him to win. And once he got eliminated, I hate to say it, but the fans didn't give 2 craps about the rest of that Royal Rumble. And that's a damn shame. And then when Roman Reigns won, I mean, he was becoming the most hated man in the IWC. They would have rather see Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble than Roman Reigns. And yes, I even wanted Daniel Bryan to win. Anthony Florio, I'm pretty sure he wanted Daniel Bryan to win as well. And yes, he is doing it. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, so like I said, like you said, this with that story that I read that Anthony told me about, with it being a triple threat match, I mean, I think they should go down that route because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, Roman Reigns, I mean, he did earn his spot by winning that Royal Rumble, but Daniel Bryan also never lost his titles. So I think they're gonna find some way, and you know what? I'm gonna make a surprise move here. I think this is gonna end in a no contest because, like you said, I think we're gonna get a surprise appearance by Brock Lesnar, and where he annihilates both of them, and then that's when we're gonna have ourselves a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. So, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, but I think it's going to end in a no contest because if you want that triple threat match to happen, I think this is the only way to go. Even though I don't like it, but you know, I gotta rephrase it, as Super Bowl champion head coach Bill Belichick would say, it is what it is. So yeah, so with that being said, I think it's going to be a no contest. So, Florio, let's get on to the Triple H Sting face off.
All right, and what are your thoughts on that, Michael Bullock? What are your quick thoughts on that?
Man, man, oh man, oh man. This is going to be something really good. Uh, Obviously, we all know what's going to happen on this. It's going to be official. It's going to be Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31. Obviously, I think Triple H is going to call out Sting, and then I think he'll either probably come out from the ramp and or maybe surprise him and show up. I mean, appear like right behind Triple H, and then Triple H is probably going to say, "Look, what you've done, of course, going back to Survivor Series where you cost me and my wife our when you cost us our power, of course, at Survivor Series, and then of course what you did on Raw when you showed up and helped Cena, of course, get Rowan Ryback and Ziggler's job back, and I want to put an end to this. So here's how we're gonna do it. Well, I want how are we gonna put an end to this? And then that's when Sting, I think he's gonna point to that WrestleMania sign, and then Triple H, he's gonna say those two words, "You're on." So I, I think that's what's gonna happen, and all I can say is let the build for Sting versus Triple H begin. Let the road to their WrestleMania match begin. So, and with that, it would be Sting's first match ever in a WWE ring. And all I can say is, ho ho ho, I so can't wait for this WrestleMania match. I mean, Sting at WrestleMania? Now that, my friends, is what's best for business. And of course, me, of course, also being a Sting fan, and of course, I do have that Sting DVD. Uh, of course, seeing all of his WCW matches and to finally see him wrestle in a WWE ring, I mean, I think it's definitely a long time coming. So all I can say is, can't wait for this WrestleMania match to take place. So, Florio, what's your thoughts?
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I don't know when during this event they're going to do it, but it's going to go down at some point. Triple H will call out Sting, and they're going to have the confrontation, and that's exactly what we think is going to happen. Triple H is basically going to challenge him to the match at WrestleMania, and obviously in one form or another, Sting will accept it, and that will pretty much plant the seeds for the long-awaited Triple H versus Sting matchup at WrestleMania. And I don't think it's going to be a five-star classic by any means because remember these guys aren't getting any younger. I mean Triple H is 45, he'll be 46 in July. While Sting, on the other hand, he's 55 right now, and by the time we get to WrestleMania, he'll have turned 56. So how do you think a 56-year-old and a 45-year-old? How do you think that's going to work out? Does that scream five-star classic to you? Not really, but I think it could. Well, I think at best it could be 3 to 3.5. If I'm being honest with you, I hope I'm wrong about that because I mean remember Triple H, 44 years old last year at WrestleMania. He had a five-star classic, but then again, he was in there with Daniel Bryan. What else is there to say? So, and that ended up being the greatest opening match in WrestleMania history, overtaking Bret and Owen from WrestleMania 10. So, yeah. While I don't think the match is going to be a five-star classic by any means, I do think it will be one of the top matches of WrestleMania. There is no question about that. So, Triple H is basically going to He's basically going to issue a challenge. He's going to challenge Sting for a match at WrestleMania. One way or another, Sting's going to accept it, and then we're going to start the road to WrestleMania for those two. So that's basically what that's going to be about. So, all right. Some quick overall thoughts, of course. Some final thoughts about this event, how we think it's going to turn out. Um, I think it's going to basically be right around a 6 or a 7 out of 10, if I'm being honest with you. Um, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, that's going to be the fight of the night. There is no doubt about that. We're looking at 4 to 4.5 if all goes well. Second best fight, I got to say Rusev and John Cena. And they're rounding out the top three, the tag team title match with the Usos against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. And then Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett for the Intercontinental Heavyweight title. That should be a good matchup. Solid matchup there. The six-man tag with Ziggler, Ryback, and Rowan going up against Rollins, Big Show, and Kane. And then the Dust Brother matchup, and then the Diva fight. That'll be the worst fight of the night. There's no question about that. The Miz TV segment should be fine. They'll basically put, Heyman will basically, they'll probably talk about the Reigns and Bryan fight, most likely, considering that since Heyman is the advocate for Brock Lesnar, that's probably what they're going to do with that. So, yeah, it should be. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be, the best pay-per-view. I think it's basically going to be, a throwaway pay-per-view, if I'm being honest with you, setting up for WrestleMania. So I'm going to give this, I think it's going to be at best a 6 to 7 out of 10, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope it ends up being better than we think. So I love to be pleasantly surprised, and hopefully that's what's going to happen here. We're going to get a pleasant surprise here. So between 6 to 7 out of 10, that's how I feel it's going to turn out. So, Michael Bullock, your final thoughts on this Fastlane pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think this should be an all right pay-per-view. I mean, I think I'm leaning more towards 6 out of 10 when it comes to this. I mean, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, fight of the night, second best fight of the night, John Cena and Rusev. Third best fight of the night being that tag team title match, and some of the other ones will be all right. But of course, the worst one being the Divas title match. Of course, the only other positive is, of course, that segment with Sting and Triple H setting up for their match at WrestleMania 31. So, yeah, I think it's going to be more of a 6 out of 10. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on it. So, with that being said, Florio, let's put a bow on this.
Put a bow on it, we will. Of course, we want to thank you all so very much for tuning in to our WWE Fastlane 2015 preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. Shame we couldn't have Derek Ferrer and Michael Fletcher with us. Unfortunately, because of technical issues beyond their control, and neither one of them could be with us tonight, which stunk. But hopefully, when it comes to future content, hopefully tomorrow night, Michael Fletcher will be back up and running fully, and we'll be able to do. Because remember, Michael Fletcher and we're going to be doing the commentary for the main event between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. So hopefully, we'll be ready to go for that. And in addition to that, don't forget Michael Fletcher's channel tomorrow night, Brace Fan 95. Of course, myself, Michael Bullock, and hopefully Michael Fletcher. We will have a complete recap of the Fastlane pay-per-view. Derek Ferrero, of course, will have his separate recap on his sports blog site, so you definitely want to check that out around this time tomorrow night. And then Monday night for the Wrestling Forum. Hopefully, we'll be ready to go for that, and most likely I'll probably be running that show, I'm sure, since Derek's, like I said, is going to be out for a while. Hopefully Fletcher will be ready to go for tomorrow night. So yeah, and then of course, we'll officially start the road to WrestleMania tomorrow night, and we'll start, dissecting what we think will happen at WrestleMania, some possible matchups, although we already know some of them. So we'll save that all for tomorrow night. So that's going to do it for this. So thank you all very much for tuning in. So don't forget, tomorrow night, Fastlane recap with Fletcher, myself, and Bullock on Fletcher's channel, BraceFan95, as well as also on Fletcher's channel, the commentary. Myself and Michael Fletcher will have the commentary for the main event only, between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, because you know how much fun we've been having with that fight. So that, and then right around 11 o'clock or so tomorrow night, our recap. So until then, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, this is Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up 14-4 style. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. And until tomorrow night for our Fastlane recap on Michael Fletcher's channel, RaceFan95, you've been watching this Fastlane pay-per-view preview edition of the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends. God bless, and be good to each other.